Welcome to our deep dive into the captivating history of medieval Europe. In this video, we'll set off on a journey through a time defined by epic chivalry, fierce power struggles, and sweeping cultural transformations that shaped an entire continent. Picture towering castles silhouetted against stormy skies, standing as symbols of strength and defiance in a world of shifting alliances. Imagine knights clad in gleaming armor, riding into battle not just for glory, but for loyalty, honor, and the will of their lords. These iconic figures aren't just characters from legend. They are part of the living legacy of European history, embodying the intricate dynamics of feudal society and the ceaseless pursuit of power. As we navigate this remarkable era, we'll uncover the web of loyalty binding kings to their vassals, witness the rise and collapse of mighty dynasties, and explore how the church wielded immense influence over both thrones and commoners. From the mythical King Arthur and his fabled Round Table, to the brutal, drawn-out clashes of the 100 Years' War, every tale exposes the turmoil and triumphs that defined the Middle Ages. But there's far more than war and politics. This was also a time of cultural awakening. We'll explore the seeds of the Renaissance, the blossoming of artistic expression, and the literary voices that reshaped how people viewed the world. So whether you're a dedicated history lover or simply curious about the past, prepare for an immersive experience as we unravel the rich, multi-layered story of medieval Europe. Join us on this journey through time and discover how the echoes of this era still shape our world today. Feudalism emerged as a defining social and political system in medieval Europe, fundamentally reshaping the landscape of power and land ownership. At the heart of this hierarchy were lords, vassals, and serfs, each playing a crucial role in maintaining the structure of feudal society. Lords, often powerful nobles, owned vast tracts of land and granted portions of it to vassals in exchange for military service and loyalty. This relationship was formalized through a ceremony known as homage, where vassals pledged their allegiance to their lords. Vassals, in turn, were responsible for managing the land and ensuring its productivity. They would oversee the agricultural work done by serfs, who were the lowest tier in the feudal hierarchy. Serfs were bound to the land and worked tirelessly, providing the necessary labor to sustain the estate. In return, they received protection and a small plot of land to cultivate for their own needs. This system created a web of obligations that dictated daily life and governance in medieval society. Feudalism not only shaped land ownership, but also established military obligations that were crucial during times of conflict. Lords relied on their vassals to provide knights for battles, ensuring their power and influence remained intact. The impact of feudalism extended beyond politics. It influenced social interactions, economic practices, and even cultural norms, creating a complex tapestry that defined the medieval experience. Understanding this system is essential to grasping the dynamics of power and society in medieval Europe. In medieval Europe, knights were not just skilled warriors. They embodied the ideals of chivalry, a code of conduct that emphasized bravery, honor, and respect for women and the weak. Chivalry was crucial in defining knightly behavior, guiding them in both warfare and their interactions with society. This code encouraged knights to uphold justice, protect the innocent, and demonstrate loyalty to their lords, creating a moral framework that extended beyond the battlefield. The journey to becoming a knight was rigorous and demanding. Young boys, often starting as pages, would undergo years of training, learning the arts of combat, horsemanship, and court etiquette. As they progressed to the rank of squire, they gained hands-on experience in warfare, accompanying knights into battle and honing their skills. Upon proving their valor and readiness, they would be ceremoniously dubbed knights, taking on the responsibilities of defending their lord's territory and upholding the principles of chivalry. Throughout history, many knights have become legendary figures, their deeds echoing through time. Knights like Sir Lancelot, known for his loyalty to King Arthur, and William Marshal, celebrated for his unmatched prowess in tournaments and battles, exemplified the chivalric ideals. Their stories not only shaped the perception of knighthood, but also influenced the cultural landscape of the Middle Ages. By exploring the role of knights and the code of chivalry, we gain insight into the values that defined an era and continue to resonate in modern society. In medieval Europe, castles stood as formidable symbols of power and protection, embodying the authority of the lords who resided within their stone walls. Architecturally, these fortresses were designed with strategic features such as thick walls, moats, and towers, which not only provided defense against invaders, but also showcased the wealth and status of their owners. Often perched on elevated ground or near vital trade routes, castles were strategically located to monitor and control the surrounding landscape, making them essential for both defense and governance. The primary role of castles was to serve as strongholds against invasions. During times of conflict, they provided refuge for the local populace and acted as command centers for military operations. The layout of a castle often included barracks for soldiers, storage for weapons, and facilities for managing the estate, making them vital hubs of administration. Lords would gather their vassals and knights within these walls to strategize and respond to threats, reinforcing their power in the region. Famous castles, such as the imposing Windsor Castle in England and the stunning Neuschwanstein Castle in Germany, have left indelible marks on history. Windsor Castle, for instance, has been a royal residence for centuries, symbolizing the continuity of the British monarchy. Meanwhile, Neuschwanstein, with its fairy tale architecture, has become an iconic representation of Romanticism in the 19th century. By analyzing the significance of castles, we uncover their role not only as military fortifications, but also as cultural landmarks that shape the identity of regions throughout medieval Europe. The Crusades were a series of religious wars initiated by European Christians in the late 11th century, primarily aimed at reclaiming the Holy Land from Muslim control. Motivated by a blend of religious fervor and political ambition, these campaigns were fueled by the desire to secure access to sacred sites in Jerusalem and to assert Christian dominance in the region. The promise of spiritual rewards, such as indulgences and eternal salvation, further galvanized knights and commoners alike to take up the cross and embark on these perilous journeys. Key events and figures emerged during the Crusades, shaping their course and legacy. One of the most notable leaders was Richard the LionHeart, the King of England, who became famous for his military prowess during the Third Crusade. His battles against the Muslim leader Saladin highlighted the fierce competition between the two faiths and the complexities of warfare during this period. The Crusades also saw the involvement of various other monarchs and military orders, each contributing to the unfolding drama of conflict and conquest. The long-term effects of the Crusades were profound, influencing Christian-Muslim relations for centuries to come. While they failed to achieve their primary goal of permanently reclaiming the Holy Land, the Crusades opened up new trade routes and cultural exchanges between Europe and the Middle East. This interaction led to the transfer of knowledge, technology, and goods, ultimately shaping the economic landscape of medieval Europe and fostering a legacy of both conflict and cooperation that resonates to this day. The late medieval period was marked by significant cultural shifts that laid the groundwork for the Renaissance, a time of renewed interest in art, science, and humanism. The Church, which had long been the dominant force in European life, began to face challenges as secularism started to rise. This shift allowed artists and writers to explore themes beyond religious doctrine, leading to a flourishing of creativity that celebrated human experience and the natural world. Key figures emerged during this transformative era, contributing to the cultural landscape that would define the Renaissance. Writers like Dante Alighieri and Geoffrey Chaucer began to write in vernacular languages, making literature accessible to a broader audience. Dante's Divine Comedy and Chaucer's Canterbury Tales not only showcased the richness of human emotion and experience, but also reflected the complexities of society at the time. In art, Painters like Giotto and later, the masters of the Renaissance such as Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo, broke away from the rigid styles of the past, embracing realism and perspective that captured the beauty of the human form. These cultural shifts were instrumental in paving the way for the Renaissance, as they encouraged a spirit of inquiry and exploration that challenged traditional norms. The emphasis on individualism and human potential laid the foundation for modern Europe, fostering advancements in science, philosophy, and the arts that continue to influence our world today. The transition from a predominantly religious worldview to one that embraced secularism marked a pivotal moment in history, setting the stage for the vibrant cultural rebirth that followed. As we wrap up our exploration of medieval Europe, let's take a moment to summarize the key points we've discussed. We began by examining the rise of feudalism, a social and political system that structured society through a hierarchy of lords, vassals, and serfs. This system not only dictated land ownership and military obligations, but also shaped daily life and governance during this era. Next, we delved into the world of knights and the code of chivalry, highlighting their roles as warriors and protectors, as well as the ideals that guided their conduct. Castles emerged as powerful symbols of authority and defense, strategically located to safeguard territories and serve as centers of administration. We also explored the Crusades, a series of holy wars that had profound implications for Christian-Muslim relations and trade, ultimately influencing the cultural landscape of Europe. These elements of medieval history remind us of the complexities and dynamics that have shaped our modern society. The legacies of feudalism, chivalry, and the Crusades continue to resonate today, influencing our views on governance, honor, and cultural exchange. If you enjoyed this journey through medieval Europe, we invite you to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with friends who might be interested. Don't forget to explore our related content for more fascinating insights into history. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.